Here's a quick reaction video to the Deontay Wilder and Ortiz boxing match. I just saw the highlights. Just want to give a little feedback real quick. Not a fan of either, really, but I do know, that Wilder came in the fight 39-0. I think Ortiz was like 28-0. Wilder's taller and younger. I think he's 32 years old. And then I think they said Ortiz is like 38. So I give them both credit for both being undefeated. Wilder, I don't like his boxing style too much. It's too wild. Like he doesn't use enough technical technique. He just uses like raw athleticism and power and just like crazy knockout blows. But I think it's going to catch up to him, if he keeps going with that. If he goes against a very skillful boxer that's really good at movement and evasion and the technical aspects, it's going to catch him. I think that Wilder almost lost the fight. He didn't do that well. He got hit a good amount of times with some solid hits too. I think even in round 7, you could tell, he could have lost in that round. I think Ortiz did very well considering that the guy's 6 years older than Wilder, and he's a little bit more heavy set. Ortiz, if he was in better shape, I think that he could have won the fight. I think it was just basically him not being in the best shape. You could tell that he had a little excess fat on him. Wilder is just a lot more athletic. He's younger and he's faster, and he's very powerful with his punches. But he just fights very wild, and he could take hits, but he's just he's not a technical type of boxer. It's just like almost like a wild street fight for him. And in this fight, he didn't win it easily. He took some damage, and you could tell that he could have almost lost it. It's just that Ortiz is just not in good enough shape, and plus he's 6 years older. And but overall, Wilder did take the hits, and he delivered hard hits back, and it was just the type of fight that everybody likes to see. They just like to see like heavy hits, and they both weren't running from punches at all. They were in the pocket, swinging hard at each other, and it was an exciting boxing match for the audience. This is what they like to see. So I think he's trying to challenge Anthony Joshua now, and I think he's gonna have a hard time with Joshua. I think honestly, I think that Joshua will probably knock him out. I say that because Ortiz is not even that athletic, and his skill level is not nearly at where Joshua is. Joshua is way more athletic than Ortiz, and Joshua has those a lot more technical skill behind his techniques. Wilder's just a wild dude, just going crazy in the ring and hitting as hard as he possibly can. One thing I could say that he has like absolutely no jab at all. He just doesn't even use his jab at all. He just like leaves his arm out there and just goes for the heavy hits. But it's working. He's 40-0 now, and I mean that's something that you have to respect. People might say, oh, he's not fighting quality boxers or whatever, but just being 40-0 with a professional record of 40-0, you got to give credit where credit's due. He is undefeated, but his boxing style is not what I admire, not at all. I admire Floyd Mayweather Jr., very great boxer, great techniques. He's very good at defensively. If Wilder was that good, he wouldn't be taking those types of hits. I know that having a strong chin is part of being a great boxer, but I think it's even better when you don't take shots at all. And if you do, that you can handle it, but it rarely should happen. But this guy, how Wilder was getting hit in there pretty hard. And it's just, he's just fighting somebody that's just not nearly as athletic, and somebody that he's 6 years older than himself. And if he's fighting people that are actually younger and more athletic than him, then he's gonna have some huge problems, So it's gonna catch up to him, just like it does to pretty much everybody out there. He's not fighting with enough technique. Somebody like Floyd Mayweather, for example, goes in the boxing ring at the age of 40 or something like that, going against Conor McGregor, who's like, I think in his 20s or something, and then he beats Conor McGregor. That's the type of boxer that I'm talking about. Somebody who uses skill and technique and talent and experience to win the fight. But Wilder's just basically just using his raw athleticism to win the fight, and he won the fight. But like I said, if he fights against people that are really athletic and even younger than him, even more athletic than him, he's going to have some major problems because he doesn't really have any technique. He's swinging really wild, and he has a lot of power, but it's gonna come to him eventually. But he did win the fight. I give him credit for winning the fight and everything. But it'll be an interesting match between him and Joshua, and that'll be something that's gonna be exciting for people to watch.